I've said it before and I'll say it again. Psychonauts is one of the greatest games of all time, and it's not just because of its stellar story and amazing characters, although both those things are great too. Its greatness comes from the way that it reflects humanity with such poise and intelligence. It's not often that a game can teach you more about yourself, but Psychonauts definitely does, and it also helps you learn to understand different aspects of humanity that you might not even think about. Now, I already did a video on Psychonauts once before where I talked about what makes the Milkman Conspiracy a great level, but today I want to dive a little bit deeper and talk about humanity through the eyes of one man, Edgar Tegli. Quick warning, there will be spoilers for Psychonauts, so if you haven't played the game, what the heck are you doing? Go play it, but if you don't want to get spoiled, probably should head out now. Everyone gone? Good. Let's do this. Edgar Tegli is a patient at Thorny Tower's home for the disturbed. Like all patients there, his mind is just a little bit messed up, but it's nothing that our protagonist Raz can't handle. For a little bit of background, the plot of the level goes something like this. Within Edgar's mind lies Black Velvetopia, a beautiful world designed after the paintings of Edgar Lieteg. Good one, Tim Schafer. Here, Raz finds Edgar trying to build a card tower to reach a beautiful woman crying in the sun. The only problem? He's missing the 4 queens he needs to build his tower. So, Raz sets off to find the queens, but this task is easier said than done, because Edgar's mind is haunted by an evil bull named El Odio. Raz has to make his way through the level, platforming around to avoid getting hit by the bull. Along the way, he meets Dingo Inflagrante, a bullfighter who's getting ready to fight El Odio, and 4 wrestlers, each of whom has a queen, and a lot of hateful things to say about Edgar. Once Raz has gotten all 4 queens, he then returns to help Edgar finish his tower. Upon reaching the top, Raz is taken to an arena where he has to fight El Odio to the death. Upon weakening him, Dingo comes in for the kill, but it turns out that El Odio is actually the manifestation of Edgar's hatred for the people he went to high school with. So Raz and El Odio fight together to take down Dingo, who was a male cheerleader, and to restore Edgar's peace of mind. Now, this story is really tongue-in-cheek with its humorous outlook towards high school drama, but it's also a really astute observation about humanity. Hatred, specifically self-hatred, is extremely common, and Psychonauts does a beautiful job examining that. Everything in Edgar's head is his own creations. Even though they're based off his high school experiences, he is the one manifesting them. The crying woman and Dingo are the cheerleaders who made fun of him, the wrestlers are the bullies who like to pick on him, and all that mental anguish just led to him breaking, which is why Edgar's at Thorny Towers. When people get picked on, it's so easy to take it to heart and to internalize those feelings. Like maybe you aren't good enough, or maybe your bullies pick on you because you deserve it. Psychonauts examines that idea and works through the problems, and it does it with comedy and a lot of heart. El Odio, for example, Spanish for the hate, is the manifestation of Edgar's feelings of hatred towards not just others, but himself. El Odio runs around Black Velvetopia causing damage and constantly knocking down Edgar's tower as he tries to build his way up. This sort of spiral of self-hatred is seen a lot in people growing up, especially for people who've been picked on for any number of reasons. Self-hatred caused by this also has an easy solution though, and for Edgar, all it takes for him to get better is to realize that the people who picked on him were just a bunch of assholes and they don't mean anything to him, and so they shouldn't impact his life. Edgar doesn't need to even think about those people he went to high school with. They're behind him now, and so he should just move ahead and live his life to its fullest. This is honestly a really common theme in Psychonauts, not just in this level, but over the course of all the levels in the game. In Waterloo World, for example, you see Fred, who's tormented by his feelings of not being good enough to live up to his family name, manifested as constantly being beaten at a board game by Napoleon Bonaparte. Even in some of the earliest worlds in the game, you witness people who are quote-unquote mentally sound, and even they have issues. Mia Vodello locks away her trauma and tries to hide it, but it still haunts her. And Sasha 9 has a tendency to be a little over-controlling, but when things let loose, he panics and doesn't know what to do. Psychonauts is a strange game with weird-looking people, but it tells one of the most human stories possible, and it packages it in humor and charm, so it's extremely easy to digest. Psychonauts 2 is about to come out, and I can only hope that it lives up to the legacy of its predecessor, but I also hope that it isn't some bland formulaic game, and instead decides to focus in on different aspects of humanity in a new light. Because a lot has changed since the release of the first game, and I think we could all use a little bit of humor to understand it all just a little bit better. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, be sure to subscribe for more content just like this, and let me know in the comments if there are any games you'd like to see me talk about in the future. Okay, y'all. Peace out. I'll catch you on the flip side.